I wanted to create a short video today while I'm beginning planting my tree seeds, which I've collected over the past year or two. And I'd like to demonstrate the different mechanisms of dispersal, not all of them, some of them, that tree seeds have in terms of their adaptations. So first I have a set of yellow poplar seeds, and they're called samaras, and the seeds are created from an orange flower that blooms in the early summer on yellow poplar trees. And the adaptation for this is once the flower dries out, these seeds are created, the samaras, and when they fall to the ground and are carried by the wind with the edge, that's called a wing, they plant themselves so that the heavy portion or bottom portion where the seed is located drops into the ground more quickly. This is common also for all the various types of maple trees and some other types of deciduous trees. I'd like to move on to the conifers. Conifers, this is a sample of Douglas fir cones, and they drop to the ground, usually through the winter and early spring, occasionally in the fall, and they have a similar mechanism of dispersal. They have tiny winged seeds, and the way the seeds are dispersed from the cone falls off the tree, dries out, and usually when it starts to warm up in the spring and summer, this causes the cone to open up and the seeds drop out, and the wind carries and disperses the small winged seeds, excuse me. The next example I have are some birch trees. These are gray birch seeds. They are formed in catkins in the fall and the spring. And the catkins dry out, and then these tiny, tiny, lightweight seeds are carried by the wind and dispersed as well. These are examples of persimmon, American persimmon. Now, something like this, the deer usually eat, and inside is a large nut, and inside that are some seeds. So the deer, after they eat the seeds, would disperse them through their gastrointestinal and defecation processes. Lastly, another example, I have hawthorn seeds, or haws they're called, hawthorn fruits, and inside these are tiny seeds. Birds eat these, and some small mammals perhaps, and the same thing occurs. After the birds eat them, they disperse the seeds, and another tree has a chance of growing. Crab apples are about the same. They're a little bigger. I have crab apple seeds, but I'm not putting them out right now. And birds or small mammals eat the crab apples. I think the deer eat crab apple as well, and disperse the seeds in a similar manner. Lastly, I did want to say something about oak trees and acorns. I do not typically grow oak trees. I have found that the squirrels do the best job of planting acorns and growing oak trees from them as they cache their acorn stores before the winter. So that's another method of dispersal, and that's very important for oak trees. Regarding the conifers, one last comment, trees with cones, which are usually evergreens, not all of them, there's a similar mechanism of the cone opening up as it dries out after falling off the tree, and then it gets heated up with the warmer months of the year, and the tiny winged seeds get dispersed. So you have pine trees, various types of pine trees, the same thing occurs. You have eastern hemlock trees, which have very small cones and very small winged tree seeds. The same thing occurs. So these are just a few of the mechanisms of dispersal that I think are really important in forestry. And in an urban environment such as this, the seeds will disperse, but oftentimes they land on concrete and they do not develop seedlings. So this is part of the reason that I have been studying forestry in the urban environment.